Welcome to the Burn Your Metal podcast. And this one we've got a Sligo Whiplash special. And I've welcomed back Benny from Sligo Whiplash again this year. How are things, Matt?
All good. Thanks for having us again, Philip.
No
We really
bother at all,
appreciate
no
it.
bother at all. And you're looking forward to this was the seventh Whiplash Festival now, which takes place on August 5th and 6th in, oh crap, the name of the venue again, shit,
Anderson.
Anderson's in Sligo. Anderson's in
Yeah,
Sligo.
yeah, yeah. All set now. Just the final push to get as many punters in the door and get the word out to many heads in the northwest and the west and that general area that we can get
Hmm.
into Anderson's to have make it a successful weekend like last year.
Well,
You know.
hopefully it goes well because
Yeah,
you went very well for you last year, didn't it?
yeah. It was extremely well. I went above and beyond what we expected last year, but. Yeah. So if we got more of the same this year, we'd be absolutely delighted.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
won't be as easy this year though, because you've got a year into that was the first year that people could do things again after the
That's
what
it. Yeah.
happened. And now we've
Yeah.
got the cost of living crisis that's affecting people. So
Yeah.
hopefully that won't have too big of a knock-on effect on you.
Yeah. And we've two other festivals. Well, not festivals. Two other gigs the same day. The Saturday the contest with the Temple Moore one, and I think James Lovejoy has or Loveday has a gig on in Belfast as well.
Yeah.
On the same day. But look, listen, these things happen, so you just gotta keep pushing on
Mm.
and do what you can do. But as you said there, um, the cost of living and the price of hotels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
They're
very
making
hard
it
for
really hard.
people, really hard, you know.
Well, at least Sligo isn't as bad as Dublin now. If you were in Dublin trying to do it now, you'd be in a world of hurt. Like,
Yeah, no, Jesus, like even to go to gigs, we used to always, go up to gigs and stay in Dublin. 100 quid most times
yeah,
for um for the what they call it. Sorry, Jim, for the stop on please. But for gigs and she just couldn't do it now. 300 quid, 350 for a hotel. But
400.
yeah, myself and the wife just drive up now and come drive straight back down.
That's the only way it can be done.
Yeah,
It's gone crazy now. Like,
yeah,
but you were saying there about the Templemore Metal Fest and something in
yeah.
Belfast Clash, and I don't think that would have really have made much difference
No, no,
anyway,
no.
because it's such a massive difference in location. Like if it was in
Yeah,
Galway and Sligo, you might be
yeah.
annoyed, but when it's in the bottom of Tipperary and in Belfast, it's
Oh
a
no,
long way
no,
from each
no.
other.
Oh no, the Jesus fair play. The more the merrier. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The more the merrier. The more gigs is on them. We build a thing. That's what we're all about. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
you know, like the more gigs it's on, the better. For everybody.
Of course,
Get
yeah.
get the bands out and get a look at them at some stage.
It's nice for bands to get out of Dublin or Galway or not Dublin or Cork or Belfast too. Just get
Yeah,
somewhere else to play.
yeah. That's it. Of course, yeah.
Well,
Limerick have a good scene down there now as well. So they're taking a good bit of stuff and playing up there as well. So yeah, it's great. Great.
and we'll touch on the lineup in a minute, but before we go, that we'll just take a brief what we done the last time, but a brief. The festival originally started in 2005. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
ran for a couple of years, and then he stopped because of what happened with everyone losing their job, as
Yeah.
we all remember.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you brought it back a few years later,
Yeah.
and then you're just yes, you've done seven in nearly 20 years, but you've still been around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like what we did a couple of years back. So if we did the first three, and then due to the collapse of everything, I mean, like everybody knows what happened in 2007. Look, it was just not viable anymore. People just weren't out in work. You couldn't do it. So we brought it back, I think about 8 years after 2016 was the next one, and brought it back. It was a great success. People were starting to work and things were starting to happen again. So yeah, it was grand. Um, yeah, and the last couple of years it's been very good. But as you said, then we had the what they call it
The
the
lockup.
yeah the lockdown and that kind of the fucking put a halt to everything again. But yeah, we're back now and we keep at it for as long as we can. As long as people want to attend it, we should keep trying to put it on. You know,
Hmm.
and that's you know.
Well, to be honest now, from what I can see looking from the outside, Sligo seems to have a very good scene. It gets a good attendance, like there's a loyal crew there.
Yeah, well, do you know what we did, Philip? I tell you straight. We have this. It was a Facebook page. Sligo Metheads
Hmm.
Facebook page. So we set that up with details of that was the for gigs, people going to want to go to gigs, so we travel together. and then for doing local gigs, small gigs, and the tribute bands and all that kind of, and Anderson's and Fifth on Teeling and Clarence and all that. And we built a page from there. So, like, when there's anything happening metal wise in Sligo, that was like the go to page, if you know what I'm saying to you. So, if we were to say we'll just say, for instance, Metallica was coming to Marley Park, we'd have 2 buses. We'd be happy that people would you run the buses, put me in through. We ran everything through that. So we built the scene pretty much through the Sligo Metalheads page, and you know what I mean. Everybody was jumping on board, and it was great, fantastic. Still the same, you know. And so if there's buses going to particular gigs, it's advertised on that, and that's how we did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was always a good core of Metalheads in Sligo anyway. So you know, that's pretty much how we did it. Like,
worked out in the long run.
Yeah.
Because like Sligo had a Cruachan playing there very recently. Like that would have been unheard of a few years ago.
Yeah, it would have. I think the last time Cruachan played at Sligo was probably
20 years ago or something.
Oh yes, 2006 or 2006 2007. Yeah. We had them. At part of Sligo Whiplash Festival. Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's coming up in 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, easily 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's mad how Sligo is suddenly becoming this place that's like it's got a better scene than Galway now.
Yeah, well, you know,
Galway's dead. Like,
I was chatting to a couple of lads from Galway there last week at the Cruachan gig, and they'd come down to see Cruachan and Two Tales of Woe. And they were telling me, it's kind of, like Galway's always had a good scene up there, you know, and it's kind of gone by the wayside apparently there tonight. You know,
the biggest problem is a lack of venues.
There you go. That's it. There's only one proper venue in Sligo at the minute, and that's Anderson's. Like, and we're lucky in the sense that we're very lucky that they accommodate us every year for the 2 days. You know what I mean? Because it's successful and there's no hassle, and we kind of run the show ourselves. So they really don't have no input into it. They have input into it, obviously, but they don't really, you know, just let us do our thing. Just to trust us to do what we do. You know what I mean? And it's great for them. There's a great relationship, but that's built up over 10, 15 years of doing different gigs for them and whatever else, you know.
Oh, that's very good to hear, because if it's just a matter of you lost that venue, there is no more Sligo Whiplash, unfortunately.
No, that's it. Well, you see, the thing is with Whiplash is that there's there's an in-house PA. There's an in-house sound engineer, Ray McAndrews, fantastic guy. He looks after us so well, you know what I mean? So he knows the whole system and all that, and everybody comes down. Sound is always fantastic down there. You know what I mean? Really good guy, like, you know. And that's a massive help. Like, that's $2.5 grand saved over 2 days if you have the system.
Oh yeah.
The PA and the sound engineer on site, everything's there.
And all the rest too, like, you know, you have mic stands and all the rest. It add up, like, before you know it, like.
Like this year we had to this year for the first year now, we had to hire a couple of cabs and we had to hire a kit. We have a full kit there, and all the cabs and all that stuff there. Everything is there this year. So the bands just turn up with their heads and the drummers breaking. You know, the
usual, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll make it easier on everyone too, because then it'll be just a matter of a quicker changeover, like.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you know, quick changeover. You know.
Right, and we'll get into the lineup. Before we get into the lineup, actually, you've managed to get 14 sponsors for the event this year, which is amazing, like.
Yeah. So a lot of the sponsors, they're like friends and businesses. They're just like what we do. To be fair, like a lot of them, like there's a few that are friends of ours, and just like what they're doing. They're not all particularly into music, but some of them are into. Do you know what I mean? Some of them are into. Are into it. They give us €100. It's not a whole lot, but it's a whole lot.
Up.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it covers like that 1,400 quid has given us, like, we can order our t-shirts, to get stuff, posters printed, We can get road signs, a few bits and bobs that money in has stood to us. You know what I mean?
Oh
That we
yeah.
know we'll get back in and pre-order t-shirts and stuff like that. You know,
The
it's
way
great to get it.
if you're looking at local sponsorship, even if you're wanting to get 30 or 40 quid out each of them, you'd be doing well, like,
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
all adds up, like.
No, no, all exactly. It all adds up, and and we're delighted to get it every year. It's the same guys, you know what I mean? And again, back to it, like there's all sorts. You have we have painters, carpenters, pubs, barbers,
Mhm.
tattoo artists, record shops, music shops, Rumble studios. Um, we've just a local shop, and then we've window cleaners, and then there's a guy who sells fireplace and Terry stoves. Fantastic, it's just great to get it. And then we have Dara in Creative Corner. He designs the poster for us every year free of charge, and he looks after the website for us. And Dara Herg, fantastic guy,
Nice.
so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's great, like in fairness, the people do roll in behind us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because they see, look, listen, every festival you do is a struggle.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's trying to pull from the same pot. To get a few quid in to get theirs noticed. But yeah, we're delighted with the company guys to come on, always helpful.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Real community kind of spirit to it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, they always say about the metal community being a community, so it's more of an extended community in Sligo. They're thinking, even if I get my name on the poster and you're putting up posters, as you say, all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's advertisement for them too, as well.
That's it.
It works for everyone.
That's it. Like it's only a simple thing, but look, to us, and when owns and we're doing the media content, their name is on, the clips and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
That's all good. It's all good,
Good stuff. We'll touch on the lineup now this year.
Yeah.
And you made a surprise announcement there earlier today that Shock Sorrow will be playing at 7 p.m. on the Saturday. That features a mixed member of Black Swan.
Yeah. So the thing is, they do a mix of covers and originals.
Hmm.
So the thing is with Keith and Lester is we're going to have them outside, weather permitting, under a little gazebo. And then we have these guys. They're futuristic characters called the Toxic Dogs. People at Sligo will have seen them. They're just going to be hanging around. They're really cool kind of characters, like Mad Max kind of stuff.
All right.
It's all. I tell you what happened last year for the was people all came at the same time and trying to get in, and some of the people missed the band. So what we're planning on doing this year is that when the lads are outside playing, and these guys are outside, you can come in, and if you're getting a weekend ticket or buying a weekend ticket or have one purchased online, get your armbanded up, go and have a drink. When the doors open at 9 o'clock, you're straight into the doors, no waiting around.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, there's no waiting around. When you come down, maybe say 7 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, whatever it is, you can come inside. We'll have a little box office kind of thing set up. I want to get a weekend pass. Give the money. Get your armband on. That's you're done. So when you come upstairs to go into the venue, there's my armband straight in. Just stops us upstairs, having to leave my cash upstairs, and everybody can flow in. Because last year was like 2 sets of stairs, and people were like, you're trying to get everybody in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that sounds like a bit logistic problems, all right.
Yeah. But you learn every year. There's always something every year. You go, well, you might be able to
do that
next year. We sort that next year. So we think we've this one sorted. So for this year, because there's 5 bands on the Saturday night this year. So we'd like to get kicked off 9:15. So as soon as the doors open,
get into it.
12 gauge outrage are on stage, and there's people in to see them straight off the bat. We're not standing on stairs waiting to get in to see these bands. You know what I mean? So that's the plan behind that.
Oh, that makes complete sense, and the venue will appreciate it as well too, because the people drinking for longer.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course it'll draw more people down earlier, so it'll encourage people to go into the bands earlier as well.
That's it. Yeah.
And as you said there, you've got first band going to be 12 gauge outrage.
Yeah.
Proper old school trash, like.
Yeah, exactly. We said we just nail it on the head. That's hopefully the tempo for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Proper old school metal. Give it to us. And then after that, you have Bloodsoul. Proper. We never had a proper like death metal band.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like in the vein, like an old school death metal band. We've had a couple. So we said we get blood soaked on. Really looking forward to seeing those guys, to be honest with you. Curse Sun, they're another one. Really looking forward to seeing those guys as well. Tusk, we took them back from last year. Their local band.
Yeah.
I had to, because they've released an album 2 months ago. Jamie's our boy, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
we have to
Local
look
draw.
after him. Yeah, you know, exactly. And then we have the lads up from Cove, Sean and those lads in the Pantera tribute band.
Hmm.
Fantastic first night, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good diverse bill. It's a good diverse bill,
Hmm.
you know.
I'm just going to
So
track back a bit now, just a bit, and go over each one a
yeah,
bit briefly. Well, on 12 Great Outrage, they launched their EP there very recently, and they played to
yeah,
160 people. So, and they looked the
yeah,
business.
yeah. Oh,
So
very good
they've
band,
had a
really
great
good.
warm up for this
Yeah,
event too. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and Blood Soaked are a bit like the festival. They'll go away and they come back again because they were a band a long time ago, and then this announced there a couple of years ago where we're back.
Yeah,
And I'd say Owen is happy to have them on because he's a big fan of the old school death metal.
he sure is. The 701 are come from the same same
Oh,
stock.
Owen loves his
Yeah,
old school stuff, the
yeah,
obituaries
yeah,
and all the rest,
yeah,
so he'll be
yeah,
very happy with them.
yeah, yeah,
And of course, Cursed Sun have been around for 14 years. They're one of the longest running bands
yeah,
in the country. Like,
yeah. Yeah. We actually looked at them last year as well, and I'm glad that we got them this year because they'd released, I think, stuff, was it last year or the year before, and I'd been looking at them and really liked what they were doing. So
hmm.
they were another one that we kind of chalked in for this year, last year as well. But we got them in this year, so I like to have those guys. You know what I mean?
They're good
Yeah,
lads as well. They're sound
yeah.
lads.
Oh yeah, that's it. I
And
agree
and
with that.
Tusk, as you said, like they've released the album and
Yeah,
they're really doing well. Like, they're kicking
yeah,
on. So as again we said there, for local draw,
yeah,
it's a no brainer. Like,
yeah. That's it.
and with a
That's it.
Pantera tribute band at the end, so
Yeah,
that's Pantera are the big band of the moment. Whatever your view on the situation is, because it's
yeah,
mixed. But
yeah.
still, this isn't going to be a mixed opinion. This is going to be a good old fashioned Pantera tribute set.
Exactly, exactly.
So
That like
you can't go wrong with that.
I was feeding into the whole, there was a lot of people. I'm a huge Pantera fan.
Oh yeah,
And I was lucky enough to see them twice. I say to people, look, listen, it is what it is. For kids who weren't lucky enough to see them,
yeah.
let's go and see half the band. Do you know what I mean? And even more importantly, I've seen Down a couple of times. I've seen all these stone, what they call them, stone, what not Stone Crow, what's the other band, Super Joint Ritual,
Super joint ritual.
all his bands, a couple of his bands, and to see him happy and healthy and sober and all, it's great, fantastic.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you're saying about young lads, if you're, to be honest, man, you're in your 40s now. If
Yeah,
for that boat to have sailed, because
yeah,
I had a ticket to see them in 2001, which they cancelled the tour then over
yeah,
the whole
yeah,
September 11 thing.
yeah.
That's 22 years ago now. Like,
There you go.
so that
Yeah,
tells you how long ago it is since they
yeah,
were banned last. So, but
yeah,
look at, as you say, it'll be a good way to end Saturday night, and then on Sunday
yeah.
you've got a shorter. As such, it seems like it's shorter, but I'm going to skip on a bit. I reckon you're going to give a longer set to the final band, Metal Mania. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the lads will finish out tonight. So what we're going to do on the Sunday, I just go through them really quick. So
Yeah.
the Magna Pina, they'll be kicking off at about, I think it's either quarter past or half past, like 45-minute sets.
Right. Right.
And we have Rain and the Marabou, the 15-minute changeover. Rain Marabou and the Berserkers, they have a 45-minute set. And I'm really looking for. I've seen we've been watching loads of video of Rain and Marabou and the Berserkers. But I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'm really looking forward to seeing the three bands. To be fair, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the Pure Sonic Outcasts.
Mm.
You know, they're I don't know. Like when I first heard them, I was like, yeah, these guys are fucking have to have these lads. You know, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. To be honest, they'll probably be, and that's no disrespect to the rest of the lads.
Oh yeah.
I love all three bands I have, but I'm just looking forward to seeing the
Mm.
or Sonic Outcasts.
Just your sound.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
And
man, the Magna Pina. aren't
Yeah,
that well known to a lot of people, but you're going to get
yeah.
they're a really, really good band.
Look, listen. I think what drew me to the Mind Opinion. I know they're great characters. Their music just kind of projects that.
Hmm.
And I was chatting to Howard last night, and a really funny guy. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
you can know me. You could get the whole vibe off them. So
yeah.
yeah, look, I'm really looking. I was going to really look forward to seeing three bands, and then of course Metal Mania at the close of the night, and 7 can clink a beer together. Go.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah,
Job done. Let's enjoy yourself for
exactly.
the hour and a half that
Ah,
the,
but
those
you're
guys
you
are on.
when you have you seen Red Marabou and the Berserkers before?
I haven't seen them. I was going to go up to where were they playing there? They were playing in Drogheda a couple of weeks ago, and
Hmm.
we were going to go over myself and my wife, and then something came up that we couldn't go over. But I know that I've watched loads of videos. They're very, you know, really, really good.
The making of that band was getting that tour with Vader and Hate there a couple of years ago
Yeah, yeah,
because they learned on that tour how to be a professional band,
yeah,
how
yeah,
to write songs for the crowd.
yeah,
Like when I had my farewell gig there at the 20th of May in Fibbers,
yeah,
I had them on last,
yeah,
and they are a unit, man. They've got the amount of gear they have. They have shields and swords, and
yeah, yeah.
they're a really, really good live outfit. And they're going to believe a lot of people are going to be very happy after watching Red Maribor and the
Oh yeah,
Berserkers.
absolutely. That's why. Like as I said the earlier when we were talking about them earlier, um, it's not this year that I picked those guys. It was last year. I've had my eye on them since last year.
Mhm.
I said, like Owen said to me, at Christmas just gone by, what's the story for this? I said, we have to have these guys. They were the first ones down. And I got in contact with Renstro. I said, listen, how are you fixed for it? And he was, oh, yeah, we're in. Because he was mad to do it himself. He said to me, look, I'm really looking forward to doing it. So it's great. It's all good, you know?
Mhm.
You know?
And of course, Pure Sonic Outcast. That'll be that'll definitely be their first gig in Sligo, and you probably did in the
Oh,
west of Ireland.
definitely,
I'd
yeah.
say.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Again, cool lads, chatting them
Mm.
there on the phone, and cool, really cool guys, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Look, you know yourself. All these guys are cool as a breeze.
Oh yeah,
Come down, have a bit of fun. Sell a bit of merch, make a couple of new fans. That's it. Like. Get a
exactly.
few more likes on the Facebooks and the Instagrams,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully sell a bit of merch. And you know,
Mm.
that's what it's all about. It's just a new platform when it comes to
Yeah.
Sligo. Yeah, like,
Oh, sure.
you
So as
know,
they say, it's somewhere new for them to play, and it'll be a
yeah,
trip away for them too.
that's
And of
it.
course, Metal Mania, the final band, sure, they'll be just playing all the hits basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of Metallica, a bit of Slayer. To be honest with you, this is for the local punters. You know what I mean? Get a couple of heads in that like a bit of Metallica, and a bit of Slayer, and a bit of Iron Maiden,
Mm-hmm.
Anthrax, Megadeth, whatever it may be, to Tin Lizzy, whatever. And listen, it all adds. It's all about making the number so we can
Mm-hmm.
go forward for next year. That's what it's about. You
And
know?
as you said last year when we done this last year, you have to have a tribute band or a cover band to get
Yeah,
the overall crowd because there's a lot of
yeah,
people, as you say, that like Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, blah blah
yeah,
blah. But trying to
yeah,
sell them a local band that they've never heard of is difficult. But when
yeah,
you tell them that if you're going to pay to come in, you're going to see these bands, and then you're going to see all this stuff,
yeah.
you're
Exactly.
more or less you're making it easier to get them in.
Exactly. And they come in and go, fuck, you know what? These guys are really fucking good. And then they start checking them out. Oh, listen, because we've done it for so many years now. I know. Well, look, it's our tried and tested form.
Yeah,
It works for us. I know this might work in Dublin because people are more into. It's a bigger
bigger market.
population of Dublin. Bigger and Limerick and all these Limerick and Cork even. But this is
Mm.
a try and test. We have a smaller population. This what works in here,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to keep rocking with it until someone tells me, look, this is not working no more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know.
That's the way to look at it. And
Yeah.
I know it's a cliche, but every Metallica and Megadeth were all that band that were playing in a venue once that nobody had ever heard of as well, weren't they? Like it's just
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You
so.
know.
Ah,
Yeah.
you've it fairly priced though. It's €27 for the weekend, isn't it?
It's 25 quid. You like buy physical tickets or you buy them online.
Yeah,
26.50 online.
yeah,
It's a small saving. Like it's €15 per night. It's a small saving, but it's
mm,
a saving nonetheless.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? I know it's only that. If you buy them online, it's 350. But if you buy your physical ticket for the weekend, it's 25 quid.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And listen,
It's half a pint.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's well. It's. Yeah, I think a pint in Anderson's is probably about 550. So it's a pint. You know, So
That's not too bad. 550
no,
compared to some
yeah,
places.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's a small saving, but we try to keep the prices as low down. But at the same time, we're still conscious that we still have to pay our bills and cover our bills. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And make sure all the bands get a few quid for coming down. Might
Mm-hmm.
be much, might be much. You know what I mean? But it's something. You know.
Oh, if you run a gig fairly like that, people will appreciate you. Like, because when I was running my final gig there in Fibbers there that again, and I threw all the bands a few bob, and it
Yeah,
wasn't a nerd shouting them out. I wanted money. I
yeah,
swear I was after giving them 500 quid. A couple of them,
yeah,
they were like, Jesus, this much, and
yeah,
I'm like, well, the door is done well.
yeah.
Here you go.
Oh,
Happy days.
yeah. Oh, exactly. Like, listen, Philip, if you're in this time, and if you're in there who's maxing to make money, you're gonna be broken fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna happen. You won't make money. You know, you know.
Sure,
The only guys that are making
even the
money
boys like John down in Limerick with the bad reputation, bringing in the
yeah,
obituaries and all the rest. He's
yeah,
working on the side. It's just something for him to. It's a
yeah,
super hobby for him now. He's getting to bring all the dream bands in.
yeah. That's it. Like, H was the same for a long time. He got lucky. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But not lucky. He worked his fucking arse off. To be
Oh
fair
yeah,
to the fella. Do you know what I mean?
and he took
He
some
just had
nasty hits
all.
along the way too.
Oh, of course he did. But this is the thing. People don't see that. You see, people don't see that side of things. They go, she's making loads of money. He probably made money in this hand,
Hmm.
and next thing took a hit on this hand. So that's going back down to the black or into the red. And look, you know what
I
I
can
mean?
tell you this: that there was one night, I won't say who the band was. He lost 23 grand.
There you go.
One night.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
You
year's
see,
wages for a lot of people.
yeah, there you go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, um, like he's put on some fantastic bands the
Oh,
last, couple of years, and I hope he's making a good living now because he deserves to make a
oh
good
yeah,
living
he's
because
grinded
he's
away
got,
for over 20 years of that.
exactly, and on top of that, he's given many of us a good couple of nights over the years, like
Well,
be it
that's
the
for sure.
academy, be it the Olympia, or be it the own ambassador, wherever.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Fair play to him. Delighted with him.
Yeah.
No.
It's good that the Irish scene is so healthy, and as you say,
Yeah, yeah.
there's events are all popping up all over the place now. And there's
Mm.
Derry has recently, the Demolition Fest has taken off.
Yeah,
Then in
yeah.
Enniscorthy, where 12 Gauge Outrage had their EP launch, that
Mm.
160 pairs in.
Yeah,
It's nice to see Ireland is expanding now
yeah,
again, and there's
yeah,
more events going forward, and
yeah,
I think Sligo Whiplash has kind of been a good one for people to kind of, I wouldn't say latch on to, but look at and say, look at this
yeah,
can be done.
yeah. It
You
can
don't
be
have
done
to
then.
be going absolutely
Yeah,
mad with
yeah.
like 30 bands over 2 days.
No, no,
But on
not at all.
two evening gigs in a reasonably priced area, and just keep it
Yeah,
as price conscious as you can, and hopefully people turn up. Like,
yeah, that's it. Simple as that. Simple and straightforward as that. You
hmm.
know.
And of course, Sligo Whiplash takes place on the 5th and 6th of August in Anderson's in Sligo. And it'll be a bit early on Saturday because of the new band, and just get
Yeah,
the crowd in, and the doors will be at 9 both nights for the main event
yeah,
themselves.
yeah. That's it. We have a bit of entertainment, as you said there, with Keith and Esther, the Shock Sorrow, and
Yeah.
with the Toxic Dogs,
Hmm.
and they'll be down there as well. They're really cool. They're a really cool feature, I think, this year. Yeah, yeah. Anyone goes down, it's just to add to the whole atmosphere, to build up to it. You know what I mean? So really looking forward to that. Can't wait. It's having all they're really stoked and pumped, ready to rock and roll. We've been going home now for the last week or so. Malone's been flat out the last couple of weeks. In fairness, the man never stopped. You know,
Yeah, you're
I tell
getting
you,
into the nitty gritty now. It's only like 3 weeks away now.
yeah, 3 weeks this 3 weeks this weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, Jesus, when
yeah,
you make these announcements, you think, oh, that's ages away. And next thing you're like, oh, fuck, this is 3 weeks away. Shit,
yeah, yeah,
better get doing things.
yeah. So yeah, it's great. I can't wait now. Really looking forward to coming around the corner. Yeah.
Good stuff, good stuff. And
Yeah.
sure, we shall leave it at that. And if you don't know about Sligo Whiplash and you want to help them in any way, look for Sligo Whiplash on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Share the artwork or whatever. Just let people know that there's a metal event taking part in the west of Ireland that's affordable for people to do, because you can get reasonable priced accommodation. And even if you wanted to drive up and down, even fucking sleep in the car, like.
Yeah.
If you were stuck on a budget, like, let the car seat down, throw a sleeping bag over you,
Yeah.
and park her up and just go and watch a few bands and get out for a night, and then forget about everything that's gone fucking wrong in the world for a few days,
Exactly. There's a good car park that's over along the river. You can fucking throw the sleeping bag over you and sleep like a
There you
log.
go. Job done, like it wouldn't be the most comfortable, sure, look at it couldn't be as bad as a tent to the festival, like,
Yeah, well, true for you. Yeah.
at least they wouldn't be fucking cooked.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.